Hello there, my name is Michael Maynard and welcome back to Gorilla Picking. Now, what we have got in front of us here in a million different pieces, folks, is a thing called a BKS Janus, and this is a fairly important video for me because it is another first pick. So as far as I've been able to gather, there has been nobody pick one of these things on camera before. I am, as far as I know, the first, but again, if you know differently, folks, and you can provide me video evidence, then for sure please leave a comment down below. Now, I need to explain a few things about this lock, guys. First of all, this was sent to me by Oceanaut in Denmark. So Oceanaut, as most of you know, is one of the key members of the UK Lock Sport Forum. He has access to a great many very cool locks. Now, I told him that to pick this thing I would need to wreck it, and I have done. Okay, so this lock has grenaded basically, and I don't think it's ever going to be back together. So Oceanaut, thank you for sending me a very expensive high security lock, and I have just wrecked your lock for you. Now, it is the flagship of the BKS range, so they do in fact do an electromechanical version of this lock. You can get this with the same sort of transponder idea that that the multi-lock click has, for example, but this thing here is their flagship mechanical lock. Now, when you look down inside the lock, it is an absolute nightmare to see what's down there. So I had never pulled this thing apart. I didn't have the first clue, in fact, how to pull it apart before I did it. And when you look in, all the pins come together like that. So there are 4 rows of them, and I thought there were 10 pins. It actually turns out that there were 12, and you can see the guts of the thing here. Now, in pulling it apart, everything just dropped out because I had absolutely no clue what I was doing, and I was fairly sure that this was going to happen. So when you have a look at the disassembly in the second half of the video, you'll see that it's pretty messy and there's lots of ums and ahs. That is frankly because I didn't know what I was doing and I was learning as I went. So you will see that we have 2 6s are 12 drivers, 2 6s are 12 key pins there. Now, I had half picked this once before and it dropped into a false set, and I thought that that meant that we were dealing with spools. Now, when I look at these key pins now, they're out of here, I actually don't see anything that looks like a spool, so I am wondering if I just had this thing 99% picked and just didn't have it go the full way. I really don't know. But this time through, to my surprise, I got a tiny bit of movement on the core and then nudged something else and the thing was open. So the rest of the video will be the picking. Again, I'm claiming this as a first, but if you do know differently, then please let me know. Please leave a comment below. I do want to know what you think of this one, folks. So sit back and enjoy me stumbling around. Thanks for watching. It's coming up now. Okay, folks, well, we are clamped up, we're ready to go, and as you can see, the key works beautifully. Now, the only way I've found to tension this thing is actually with an Allen key jammed in the bottom of the lock here, so we are going to use that. Now, we are going to begin picking with the Tron. So, as you know, the Tron for me goes into every lock first time every time because I can feel what's going on best with the Tron and I get good feedback from it. So I kind of, it's the one that I know what I'm doing with best, if you see what I mean. Now, we are getting a few pins set here, or at least I think they're setting. That's the problem with this lock. I don't really know what the feedback means. So we're just going through kind of methodically really and just picking anything that stands up and says that it needs to be picked. Now, I've done this a couple of times already and I have managed to get it to a false set, but after that what happens is anybody's guess, truly, it really is. So I'm just going through here with the Tron, picking whatever seems obvious. And all the feedback has just dried up. Now I have noticed that it does this not long before you get the false set, so I'm just going to rake it a bit and go through and see if we can figure out whatever it is that gives it the false set. And we're open. Okay, that picked without giving a false set. I'm not sure why that is, but you can very definitely see that the lock is open there, folks. Alright, so now what we've got to do is figure out how to disassemble it. And I must say honestly, I am a little bit worried about this because I don't know what I'm doing here, and I do think that the lock is going to grenade. I think we're going to lose springs all over the place. So again, well and truly open, well and truly picked. I need to just take a picture of that for the UKLS site, so if you'll excuse me 1 second, we'll just bang off a photo. Righto. Now we're going to lock this thing back up again. Click. And we are going to see if we can get this thing apart without destroying it. So I have removed that little plastic clip, and I'm thinking that what's going to happen now is not very much. Okay, what do we do next, folks? Okay, I'm struggling a little bit here, guys. Is there something in there that I should be pushing? Okay, well there's a couple of pins in the top of the lock, and I'm wondering if I need to somehow pull those out perhaps. Or maybe push them in. Nope, that doesn't seem to be what you do either. Okay. Alright folks, well listen, this lock is picked, okay, but I don't have a good way of proving that to you. Alright, so I'm going to zoom in so that you guys can see that it's intact. You can see that we've got all the pins in there, alright, but I genuinely don't have a way of pulling this thing apart. I thought it was going to just come adrift when I poked that plastic plug out, but apparently not. So just while I've still got the camera running, let's see if there's anything else that I can do here. Aha, okay. Right, well when I poked this little pin thing, it definitely moved. So let's see if we can lever that out with some kind of tool. I'm learning as I go, guys. Here we go. Okay, so something has just come out of there, and if I sound a bit excited, it's because I am. Alright. So I've just got one plug out of there, and let's see if we can get that other one out of there as well. So what we've got to do is get underneath these plugs somehow and push them up. That's why that little plastic plug is there, maybe. Boy, is this ever one weird lock. Can I get in there with a... Come on, come on. How are we going to get that out of there? Here we go. Okay, I think we're almost here. Alright, this little pin thing is jammed, don't yet know why and don't know whether that's okay, but we've got some movement on the core now, so I'm guessing it's as out as it needs to be. Okay, alright, now let's see what happens when we withdraw this core, and we've got some springs appearing. In fact, we've got some springs all over the place. So there's one in the bottom here already. Let's just take that out of there if we can. Okay, that is a little driver. And so that's going to be a driver as well. Okay, I'm going to mark the chambers that have got the drivers. I think that's probably the way to do this. So there's one there and one there. Take it out a little further. There's one there. Don't you love learning stuff as you go, guys? There's one there, there's one there, and there's one there. And okay, there's one. How many we got so far? Oh, just dropped a pin of some kind. Okay, so that's obviously going to come out of one of these chambers that had the drivers. I'm probably not going to be able to figure out which one right now. There's another one. Here's another. How many we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, I think that's all that we're going to get out of there. So I'm going to finish withdrawing that core. Oh no, there's more of them. Jesus. Okay. Wow. Alright. I don't think I'm going to strip it down any further than that, guys, because you can clearly see that this lock is legit. We have these are going to be key pins, aren't they? Those are key pins in all of the chambers that I got drivers out of. And then I clearly dropped a driver out of that one. There's a key pin out of that one, you can see it sitting there, and I dropped the key pin out of that one, you can see it sitting down there as well. So I think I am happy with that. I'll just show you that again so there's no argument. We've got 1, 2 key pins down here, and 1, 2, wherever it is, 2 holes there that don't have key pins in currently. The rest of the chambers that we got drivers out of have all got their key pins still in them, and we have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 in fact driver pins there. So I am pretty comfortable with that. I think I am happy that I have done a good job there. Alright, so there you go folks, first pick of the BKS Janus. I apologise that the disassembly was a little bit rugged, but I had got absolutely no idea how to get into this thing. So I'm happy that I've done it, and I'm happy that I've proved that I've done it as well. Thanks for watching guys. I'd love you to leave a comment below, alright? So stick a comment down there if you've got any idea how to get this thing back together. I'd very definitely like to hear about that as well. So 12 minutes worth. Thanks for watching folks. My name's Michael Maynard. This is Gorilla Picking, and that's another first pick. Thanks guys.